Hello and welcome to the African Alumni Association. My name is Henry Sully and this is Heart to Heart. Before I start, I wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto African Alumni Association operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land for the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Today, this meeting place is still home to many indigenous people from across the Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. Again, welcome to the African Alumni Association. My name is Henry Sully, and this is Heart to Heart. Oli muna Uganda, obeera Toronto, oyina community events is only excited about as we head into the Independence Day weekend. You know any leaders in this community that inspire you? What projects have helped you grow or have grounded you during this pandemic period? What are you looking forward to this weekend? Well, I can tell you that what I'm excited about right now is this conversation. In studio with me, I have a gifted, talented Miss Gloria Gift Nankunda. She is the CEO. She is the CEO, the founder of Gisha Productions, and she's also an artist.
Hello.
Gloria,
Yes.
tell
How
us
are
who
you?
you are. Why are you excited to be here? Why
Ogamba chi
tweteddeyo olwaleero?
nkulamusizza ssebo. How are
I'm
you?
fine. I'm fine,
Thanks.
thank you. How are
Thanks
you
for
doing?
having me. Thanks to the African Alumni Association of the University of Toronto. Thanks for your time. Thanks for calling upon me. Hello, bananga abatulaba batubalamisiza mugamba chi muli mutya mukodeyo. Bonjour, hola, for those who understand some Spanish.
Right.
Yes, I hope everyone is okay. I am fine, Henry, and I hope you are okay as well. I'm recovering from a cold. As for those that can hear me, just a little bit. Yes, it's not COVID, just to be clear.
Oh,
Yes, it's a cold because we are getting into fall, and of course our season is changing, and yes, that's why we are having. I sound the way I do. I am. You said I should tell people about me. Where do
tell
I start?
people. Yeah, yes.
Well, I am an artist, I am a musician, I am a creator, a producer, director. I do Gisha Productions Inc. to create work for me as an artist because back in the day I got tired of going for auditions. So I said, you know what? Well, how about I create my own work so I don't have to picture it
Right.
outside. I do events, and I produce for other like music festivals. I produce for event rooms, or someone will call me and say I have this place and I would love to have a music night, so I actually create a night for particular venues. Yeah, the no small things.
That's a lot of stuff that you do. That's a lot of stuff that you
And I
do.
get the privilege of being in other communities, working with different communities, because as you know, Toronto is, I call it the global city center of the world. Buri muntu yenna, in the world, you can find an ethnicity here. You can find any country, any citizen from any country in Toronto. So I get to have a chance to be in different communities, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
It's very interesting that you have flamed you, that the city of Toronto as a global, pretty much a global capital.
Cities, yes,
Global capital.
absolutely.
It is the global capital, and
Mm,
it's a good thing that the populations here are growing. Uh,
absolutely.
and they are growing at a very high rate.
Given with the support of our government, which is still letting in as many refugee as claimants as as possible, the
Right.
numbers are. It's just a start, I even say, because we need a lot of people.
We do need a lot of people, and for those Africans who are thinking about immigrating to Canada,
Hmm.
specifically Toronto, uh, this might help you prepare well, because they say that in 2066, uh, 54% of immigrants to Toronto will be from Africa and the Middle East. So will you
Mhm.
be part of that 54%
Yeah.
of those people who will be coming to Toronto? Naye
Mhm.
tusanyuse nnyo okulaba Gift Gloria Nankunda.
Yes.
Soko tuwulire Nankunda alitegeeza ki erinnya eryo
Nankunda.
nga liringa ly'Abafalansa stole.
Byabanyankore Bushenyi Kitabi Mbakitabi Bushenyi.
Okay.
And someone is talking about our sound. We need to improve our sound. Our sound is skippy. Let us deal with that. I hope we get it better. Thank you so much.
Whose sound? Well, is it mine or the guests?
Oh, we are going to try and change it. Let us see. I hope this is better. Is that better?
Yeah, that's much better actually.
Perfect.
How about mine? Is mine okay as well?
Me, I can hear you from my end. I hope someone will let us know if things are not going right.
Okay.
And by the way, you can give us your comments, of course, in the comment section. Yes, be a part of the conversation.
Yeah,
Please.
why? Bagambye Gloria bakulaba. Yeah, Gloria, we see you. Bagamba oleda abantu. Bali abo bakutunuulidde bagamba Gloria kachika aleese leero kachika aleese.
Njagadde bategeeza erinnya
Right.
Nankunda means someone loves me.
I know, that's why I thought it was French. I was like, is it French or something? Bali so romantic. So that okay.
Yes.
Nankunda mulitegedde. Okyayongerayo badde nkusaze kireka nkusazeeko ng'okyatubuulira.
Nedda mbuzize erya Nankunda kirabika gali amalala mugategeera, so it's all good.
Erya gift lirabika litegeeza kirabo, which is but you are also gifted, you are talented. I think that's why you are an artist. We are excited to have you. I don't know how many times have I said that. I think
for today you are allowed.
Yeah, I'm allowed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the honor.
I think the conversation today is going to revolve around the Ugandan community in Toronto specifically. Of course, bw'oba wasomye ka preamble ke nawandiisa awo, you can see that Statistics Canada tells us that there's about 2,055 Ugandans in Toronto, but Statistics Canada says that those are the recent immigrants. They do not specifically define who recent migrants are. Does it mean people have come here 5 years?
10 years ago?
10 years ago, 20 years ago? Who are the recent migrants, right? And they do not mention people who identify as Ugandans who were born here. I don't know if they ask that question or not, but I didn't see those statistics. So I'm going to make a presumption that there's 2,055 Ugandans in Toronto. I think there's more than that.
I think we are more than that. I agree with you. And just to give perspective to the conversation today, we are doing this in regards to the celebrations that Uganda independence celebrations that we have over the weekend, where we have over three, because it's for almost 4 events.
I think there's 4
for the same community happening at exactly the same time.
Almost,
and the question is, really, as a community, we cannot get together, to organize ourselves. We have 365 days, Mr. Sally.
Ganda, why I'm coming to that. Top up, I'm coming there. Because that's the question really today. I think there's 4 events. There's numerous leadership groups that have organized events. They were not able to come together to discuss whether they should have an event that is organized by everyone together. Collectively. But first, before we delve into that, which is the bigger conversation, I'm going to start at the micro level, and I'm going to start with you. I know you have a production company. Obviously, you represent artists, and you also you connect artists, you connect different talents to serve within our communities. But I also know that you have been working with Emily Mwanguzi.
Yes.
Uh, Emily Mwanguzi has been a Miss. I think she was Miss. She participated into Miss Canada.
Miss
She
World Canada. She was top 8. And this is
exactly. So
that was 2021, but she has been in a couple of other. She has won Miss Galaxy like twice, Miss Galaxy Canada. She has been in the pageant industry, since I have known her, and I
right.
yes, so that's how I know her. Yes.
And I know that you've been working very hard, especially these days.
Mhm,
Not just with her. Of
mhm,
course, you helped her during her journey
mhm,
for the Miss Canada
mhm.
World, Miss Canada World,
Miss World Canada.
or Miss World Canada.
Yes.
Even to Uganda binjigiriza Miss World Canada, Miss
Yes.
World Canada pageant. She she
Mhm.
she, she she managed to come in eight
Yeah,
or
she
eight.
top 8. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Even though we were paying to actually vote for her,
Yes.
you'll have to explain that because the bancharging $1 lwange nesiddamu mulonda.
Yes.
Simanyi how many times you try to kulonda. I didn't know how many times we were supposed to vote.
Mhm,
You'll explain that later. But
mhm,
before that, because that has been recently, very late in
mhm,
the conversation,
mm,
at the beginning of this year, I saw you on several conversations in Kampala, different
mhm,
TV stations promoting Miss Uganda Canada. I
mhm,
believe you have patented uh, that name,
mhm,
Miss Uganda Canada. Uh, I saw you hosted this gentleman, the artist who is going to be in Miss Uganda Canada. But then I also found out that you're not the one organizing it. Apparently, there's someone else organizing it. Who you're going to tell us who they are because we do not know. Fetula wabula, tugamba waliyo Miss Uganda Canada nga tujja nga tulaba. But I'm confused. I don't see you participating. I haven't seen any flyer, any promotion from you. Who is organizing Miss Uganda Canada, and where are you? Why are you missing in action?
So I will give us a background, or if you remember, it was July of last year when we put out official information, registered Miss Uganda Canada initiative, and there happens that there was a person who was interested in the matter, but they were in Uganda. So as a team, and again, it's not just me as a person. I'm talking about Miss Uganda Canada Initiative is a non-for-profit NGO registered here officially in Canada to serve the Ugandan Canadian community, girl empowerment, women empowerment, cultural heritage, because we are talking about kids who have been born here, but they don't know how to speak Luganda. So that is
Right,
not their fault. Okay, as much as what are we doing about it? So we brought it up in a sense of Emily has been in so many pageants. And I reached out and I said, Emily, now I want you to, if we got the chance for you to impart the knowledge that you have, learned through all these different pageants in Canada, now we bring it to our girls because our girls need self-esteem, they need confidence. We have to teach our girls how to represent themselves, how to speak, when asked to speak about something, or just to simply represent who they are. And when we talk about language, this is not just about the competition. It's not just about putting people together and they compete and then you give awards. That is besides the point. The point is, what is the purpose behind Miss Uganda Canada initiative? Right.
right,
So Emily and I and our team, we have a team of 4 directors, and we started this process. We put out as you saw us put in the work because it's not a matter of a competition. That we want the community to be a part of this. We want the participants to come from within the Ugandan community, not just Toronto, but Ottawa, but Edmonton, where
Vancouver.
there is a large number of Ugandan occupants, right?
Right,
And the work is a lot. I cannot say all of it in detail, but there's a lot of work that goes in. And you have to understand that you're dealing with people's children. So the law is there. You're dealing with minors here. You're dealing with proper representation. So it's not a matter of just handing people up and putting numbers and you grade people. there is a lot that goes in the work before, the etiquette of what does it take to run a pageant. There are etiquettes and rules that govern pageantry. It's not just a lottery ticket. There's a lot that goes in the back of the room. So anyhow,
but there's also the vision, the vision for this pageant.
yes.
When someone becomes, for example, Miss Uganda Canada, what are they going to do for the community? What are some of the charity? What are some of the values that you have
Exactly.
that you're going to be
So
representing?
and that's why when we started the initial process, we engaged not only, and I'm speaking because there is proof of it, there is work. You saw us do interviews. We reached out to different Miss Uganda entities around the world. I am a great, the UK is a great supporter. I love her because, we don't know. And we reached out and said, we are starting this in Canada. Teach us. We had her on interviews. We had support from Comedy Store Uganda. You saw us engage Alex. You saw us engage Leah Kagasa, who was the
Right.
Uganda 2008. And then just before this broke off, we're supposed to engage Dora Muim. The people who have done this. So it's not a matter of come audition. What the ladies, the girls don't know. The mothers don't know what this pageantry is. When you take somebody's child for competition, you need the support of the parents. So for us, we are coming from that stake of this is for the Ugandan Canadian community. However, when we started the work, I'm told the presenter is Big Seal Foundation. I want to know, who is Big Seal Foundation? Where are they? What do they do?
Are they Canadian? Do they live in the Canadian community?
Well,
I think these are important questions,
absolutely.
especially when you bring in the aspect of parents. Also, when we bring in the aspect of having some contestants being minors, because you might have contestants who are older than 18 years old, but you might also have people who are 17 years old,
Yes.
but feel like they can compete. And you have to explain to their parents and
Not even explain. The parents have to sign off. It's
exactly.
a lot of work. It is there has to be social worker on the ground, because you're talking about someone's confidence and self-esteem. You're telling someone that they don't know their mother tongue, but you're saying here is a platform for you to come and learn. We talk about how the millennials are so far apart from us, the adults. What are we doing? We want to use Miss Uganda Canada initiative as a bridge between the youth we have within our community and us, the adults. You know what I mean? So for me, this is not a chivulu. This is not, I want to arrive at how are we here, because that is all past.
Right.
But I wanted you to know that I'm speaking because I have facts, and I wouldn't have gone to Uganda. We've invested a lot of PR work. The Miss Uganda Canada initiative, the organization I'm talking about, headed by our director, Emily Wanguzi. We have had we've been putting a lot of PR work, we've put articles even in Uganda and here and interviews and ABCD. So when that happened, I got to learn that apparently the Big Seal Foundation had approached Emily.
Interesting.
Before.
Okay.
So me talking to Emily before, we didn't have an idea that there is something happening. But nonetheless, when we arrived here, we did all the work. When I was we are trademarking, that is, and why did I say trademarking? We didn't want to it's not just a matter of registering an organization, but this is a brand. Why? We want that the brand will exist even when when Gisha is no longer in the picture, when Emily Mwanguzi is no longer in the picture, when Angela Nakayua is no longer in the picture, because those are directors, when Bettina Tamhisa is no longer in the picture. We want something that will serve the community long before we are gone.
Right.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
So we trademarked it, and the trademark. I don't know. I know you're familiar with the business of how and how the Canadian industry really works. I love that. Trademarking takes about a year. So in the process of waiting, we trademarked. When I was doing my interviews in Uganda, I was in Uganda in December. We reached out to, we were able to do different radio stations and TV stations, and I shared because I have the proof. We had planned to have it in June of 2021, but based on what was happening, we didn't want to do something just virtually, because this is something
premature,
people. We want the girls to run workshops. They have to participate in person. So it didn't really make sense that for a first time, we should do it virtually. No. So, but again, you see, because of the length of the trademarking period, that would give us a chance, to
Right.
be doing
Of
all the
course.
back work that we need, and wait patiently, because even to be a Canada to be papida. If you require the law will take its course. You don't rush it. So
Right.
as we are waiting for these, when I was in Uganda, I'm doing PR. This person actually sent a message to MC Cuts. Right, so I was on NBS, the evening after 5 show with the 4
Right.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
And this person, I was on air, and this person sent them an email and said, look at me, I'm not the one, Mufere, ABCD, but I'm not the one charging $500 for people to register. I don't know what that is about.
So people were charged $500 register to come to Canada.
Absolutely. I have
But
nothing to do. We don't have an idea, but that is all he's making. When he says that on air, I said, I want you to ask him when he registered.
right.
He sent a screenshot. Do you know what the screenshot said? He
No.
registered December 18th, 2020. I am July 29th. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you started. I think you started marketing this thing in June or
July.
July. July,
So when you
exactly. In the
come in,
summer.
and I said, when he showed I showed the team, I said, look at the date. When did he do this? I am July, and he says December 18th. I remember the date because I saw the date. They showed me the date on TV. And I told the gentleman, I said, you know what? If he has something to say, he can pay for his own airtime and come and talk about it. You understand my point? Because it's too much work, and unless I have proof, I will not speak. So anyhow, that has been going on, and then the posters of his Miss Uganda, I see him signing with different companies in Uganda, sponsorship, but sponsoring what? Who are
Right.
what's happening? You're not even here. You don't live in this community. Anyhow, that's not my fight.
So what you are telling us right now
Yes.
is that there's someone who is also a Ugandan who
Mhm.
does not live in the Toronto area or in the GTA, who is not a member of the Toronto Canadian community, Ugandan Canadian community,
Mhm.
who is telling people in Uganda that they are the legitimate organizers of Miss Uganda Canada, which you have trademarked, and which you haven't actually received a confirmation from.
Trademarking, the Canadian Trademarking Commission. Why? And that's why I
Exactly.
haven't talked about it, because I need the proof first before
Right.
I can engage. Like I said, the law has to speak. I have had people
Right.
send me their poster where they put $500 to participate. I've had people screenshot me and say, Gloria, what does the $500 entail? I've had
Right.
people ask me, like private, literally, and I tell them, I don't
Yeah,
know
because
anything.
I'm going to ask you the same question. Why do you need to charge people $500?
It is, again, it is not Miss Uganda Canada initiative.
Right.
It is not
Uh,
that. You have to understand the difference.
so who is Big Seal? Big Seal yani.
Well, that is the question I will pose to the community. It is not my job to see. You now know, because he's going to be at tomorrow's event. So I want the community has to engage, because it's not a matter. I want people to understand that this conversation is not in the finger pointing. Rather than, as a community, we have to iron out things to be able to move forward.
Right.
That's why I want to bring paperwork, and then we can have a conversation. For me, it has nothing to do with Gisha, because Gisha is a PR partner. No, again, it's Miss Uganda Canada initiative standing on the ground. We are waiting for the trademarking commission to send us the official letter, and then we shall engage the community in Uganda, in the community in Canada, because then we will have official. It's right there. I don't have to come and tell you who Big Phil is or what. That's not my place, because now as a community, mwebuuze ekibuuzo, Big Phil yani abeera wa?
Right.
And which
Well,
community is he serving?
that question also goes to all the community leaders who are
Yes,
partnering with the Big Seal.
yes.
Uh, are they doing it legally? Because mukandadete fraud tetujikiriza.
Well, he is the company is registered as an NGO. I get it. You can register a company, but what is it doing? You say it's benefiting the Ugandan Canadian community. Is that the case, or is it a matter of just a tagline? Banange tuve mukuzanyira in our lives. Life is short. We
Right.
need to be intentional. I understand we live in a country, the weather is not nice, ABCD, but we need to go out every now and again. But there are ways of doing it without necessarily being.
So if he has a company registered as an NGO, is it registered in Canada?
Apparently, yes. Again, I would love us to go to, for those who need information, Big Seal, let him, I think he has bigsealfoundation.com, or
Right.
I don't know.
Do
Google
we
and
have,
do some reading about him.
do we know the directors of this organization?
Again,
And the reason I'm asking that is kuba njagala abantu abakuwuliriza abali mu community bannayuganda abali e Toronto bategeere nti nno organization eno first of all ekulemberwa omuntu omu Canada owa Ugandan Canadian agenda okuyamba abavubuka abawala first of all to we need to know what is the vision of this organization and how are Ugandans in Toronto going to benefit in this event?
it's very important.
Right.
Very
I
important.
think having these conversations is very important. And tulina okumanya nti no bwe tuba nga tugenda kwekulaakulanya within Canada, Ugandan Canadians in Toronto, if we are going to develop ourselves, we need to ensure that we trust the people that bring us these events, right? Because we want to have fun, but we also want to ensure that as we grow together, we grow together. I think that's very important. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting for us to know who are the directors of Big Seal Foundation. And why we haven't seen him in the community? Because
it's really that simple. It's not a matter of don't come, take, go.
Yeah,
for me, I am for Ugandan community. I tell people everywhere I go, it does not matter because I'm very proud of my heritage. I'm very proud of.
Right.
I'm a very jealous Ugandan Canadian. Very jealous.
Yeah, exactly. So we need to know babanga mu Canada lwaki tumulako mu community biki ebirala byakoze mu community bituyinza okugamba nti Big Seal nekino nakyo yakikola mu community bano abantu ba empowerinze this is the background kumwajjira kubeera nti agenda kujja empowering n'abaana abato abawala abato abakula who are talented and want to go in this direction. We need that background, and I think that's very important. We know as we discuss Big Seal, I don't know if he's Canadian. We are yet to find out. We shall find out if he's Canadian. Where does he live, and how does he benefit the community beside asking $500 from people and alleging that people can actually register from Kampala to come here and compete for Miss Uganda Canada pageant when you are Ugandan. We welcome you if you want to come and see if you have the 500 that you want to spend to come and spend time here in Toronto. I think we welcome you as a visitor. But if you're coming to take away opportunities for Ugandan Canadians in Toronto, that's another conversation as well. Protectionism is coming in now. There is a convention. I think there's a convention going on. I understand you're one of the hosts for that convention, and I think you have hosted it for the last 3 years. This is the 4th year. I understand the proprietor of that organization is also American, Mr. Mayanja.
Yes.
If you don't, if you are questioning Big Seal organizing an event, if indeed he's not Canadian, if he's Ugandan, if we are going to question Big Seal, why haven't you questioned Mr. Mayanja coming into Toronto? Every time he wants to organize a convention, sometimes he organizes it in the summer. Now he chose to organize it during the Independence Day weekend. Which brings us to having so many different events happening on the same day. Why haven't you questioned Mr. Mayanja's intentions?
Yes, thank you so much. I think for me, it's not a question of I have not questioned him. However, in my defense, for now, I'm not hosting it this year because I have a cold and I can't go in people.
Oh, you're not hosting it today. Oh,
so
okay.
this year, somehow the year I am not participating is the year you decide to have this conversation. So you're very welcome. Great job, Henry. Unfortunately, I won't be a part of this year's event because I have got a cold and I can't go in people in respect to the COVID SOPs for the city of Toronto.
Oh, okay, so you're not hosting it not because you don't want. You're not hosting it because of COVID restrictions. You have a cold apparently, and you're being the right citizen. You're being ethical and you're being
absolutely
mindful of other people. So that's why you're not hosting it.
That's why I'm not hosting it. And why I want you people to understand, I want the people watching us or the community to understand what I do. I'm a musician. I'm a host. I'm an MC. I take projects based on my individuality. First of all, it's my daily. That's how I pay my rent. That's how I eat my food. What I do is what feeds me. When I sing, I do events. At least I will have a gig every other weekend. That is how I live my life. So in the past, I've taken this role. First of all, yes, as a Ugandan, but at the same time, because it is a gig for me, and it happens like once a year. You get my point. For 4 hours. It is a gig for me. So in the past, I've taken because it is a gig. However much, this same year, and I know I've not only worked with him, Mayanja, but he has had a Canadian team that he has worked with. And it's the people on his team that I've been able to work with Mayanja. This is my question to ask. Now, I am a part of that question. We, the Canadian team, why do we agree that somebody should come from, don't get me wrong, the idea can be there, but who runs it?
Exactly.
Ugandan Canadians.
Yeah.
When shall we understand that we have the power to do that? And that is the thought that was driving the Miss Uganda Canada initiative. Why? When somebody got the idea, okay, yes, but you're in Uganda, you're not here. Why am I asking you for permission to do something when I'm the one here going to do it and experience it?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Why would I don't know, have Big Seal, he's not here, but tell me what to do when I am the one leaving it here? But you're going to come 1 week to the event to tell tickets. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but Big Seal is not different from Mr. Mayanja.
No, I'm giving it because I have participated. I am using that as an example because I have participated. So that's what I'm saying. It's us as the community. Why haven't we asked that question? I want you to ask the proprietors of this convention, Mr. John Nalima in the past, Jeff Musawo. I want, if they could come on this right now, I wish they could, because how many questions have I posed the same question? Guys, why can't we do this ourselves? I've used the question ourselves.
Right. So I haven't seen Mr. Nalima promoting this event. Is he participating in this conversation today? I mean,
here we are now. Where is the Ugandan team that Mr. Mayanja is working with? Where is the Ugandan Canadian team on the ground that Mr. Mayanja is working with?
Right.
Makes sense. I really want people engaged so that they can come and counter, because it's not a one-way streak. It's a thought. We are instigating a thought.
Right. Bannayuganda abali abawuliriza mu kuba amasimu kuba essimu ku 415182714 tunyumyemu twebuuza ebibuuzo bino. Lwaki omuntu ava e Uganda najja n'ategeka omukolo wane Canada nga gwaba Canada? Lwaki omuntu ava mu US ng'ajja alabika omulundi gumu weekend emu gy'alabika najja n'atwala pocket change yenna n'amuzzayo mu Boston? Bannayuganda temusobola kwekolera bintu bino ne mwekulaakulanya nga mmwe.
Yes.
If they can afford to pay whatever they pay you for those 4 hours, imagine if you are the one organizing it yourself. And this brings me to the question we were talking about earlier. Why do we have 4 events happening on the same day? Why didn't you guys come together and organizing a Ugandan summit for the independence? Organizing, not someone from Boston. And I want to bring I like Mr. Mayanja, but this is a question. This is a moral question for the people who live in Canada. You have so many talented people within the community. why can't you organize these events yourselves?
Now, Sally, I'll turn the question to you. Why can't we? Because we don't want the question to be why can't you? We want the question to be why can't we, as Ugandan Canadians in Toronto, let's start with Toronto or Canada at large. I can imagine us having this convention 1 year in Toronto, another year in Edmonton, another year in Ottawa. Look how beautiful that would be. And then we get to get some vendors from home, but collectively, we need to stop the chinechintu cha Henry, chinechintu cha Guro, chinechintu cha Jeff Musawo. We need to stop the I if we are to move forward. Mr. Sally, I've been here for 10 years. So I'm not talking about these things because I came and yesterday, I have been living. I am a trained, producer. I do events, festivals, big festivals outside. So I'm not just dealing with, when I talk about the community, I envy going out of the community and I see how they work. I'm like, man, I would wish my people, don't get me wrong, we are not perfect and neither are the other communities. But as Ugandan Canadian, we know how many people, we know each event organizer in Toronto, don't we?
We do.
We know because they show up we show up at different events. Make sense?
The irony of this conversation is that when I look at all some of the promos that I'm seeing right now, Zigamba, United Promoters of Canada.
Who are?
I think I'm doing a 4 events. How are you United Promoters of Canada when you have 4 events happening on the same day?
Competing with each other. How are you in a business mind? You know, and we create that event here kubanga nali walimu event yori ate notajja Gloria atoye oli mwamayanja. That means I had people last summer when we did the 2019. That was the last time I hosted the Uganda Business Convention. Right. And I had people tell me, oh, Gloria, you cannot host this event because it is don't get the behind the scenes. That is their business. I am a trained host. It's how I earn my living. I will not take a gig because of your personal thoughts and perspective about the person who's organizing this. I refuse. As an individual, I do not owe you any explanation as to how I how I earn my living. But it is my moral obligation. Yes, Catherine Bate. It's absolutely. We need to have these conversations because we cannot not have them if we want to move forward. You understand? Mr. Sally, we know each event organizer in Toronto. If we sat together, one meeting, brought down the calendar, we have 365 days, and said, Henry Sally, oina event in February, kale, urunakuchi. We all know that Henry Sally has an event on every second weekend of February. Yeah? Right. If it's United Promoters or whatever it is, or the different organizations, I want to talk about that in particular. I have my few notes that I need to go through in particular. So this is the calendar, events calendar. And we know, I would say, Pitmoff, the teenage mothers, Mrs. Sembeguya, Solomon, she does an amazing job. We know there is an event in April and an event in September. That is clean cut. Now, why would I again put an event in the same weekend as Solomon if I am truly for the spirit of the community? Right. Because I support Solomon as cause. Does that make sense? And we want to see each other grow, It's not a matter of, you succeed alone. No, together once again. Because when we are selling these tickets, we are selling to a Ugandan. I don't come to you as Gulo. I come to you because and you come to support. I'll be very honest. The Toronto Ugandans for me as an artist have been very supportive when I have my shows. At least, and now I know. At first, they would say, Gloria, your shows are they happen in the evening, weekdays. I said, okay. So most of my music shows, I will do them on a Saturday evening at 6 p.m. because I know people are done work. When most I say people, I'm on stage,
at least majority of people.
Absolutely. I've been very blessed and I'm thankful for my community for the support because they show up when I have those music shows. I mean, if I have 200 Ugandans at a show, isn't that amazing if you ask me? And that has been my experience. We know that something is happening. We know Dominion Church has a barbecue every second day of July or Canada Day.
Yeah, Canada Day, 1st of July.
So why should now Gisha Productions, for example, decide to have an event on the same day, same time, same community? Come on, people. The pie is big enough for us to eat. But even the pie has to be cut evenly.
Right.
But now imagine, instead of having 20 people at your event, same day, same event, celebrating the same community, if there are 500 people, we don't have to take 250, but we can take all the 500 to your event one weekend. You take one break week, then the other weekend Gloria has her event. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And we are supporting each other, because guess what? We need each other. I need you as much as you need me, period. And I think that is what we have to carry from here on. That is a community calendar. As community leaders, I love that because this is for the community leaders, because everybody heads are different. Why should I? And this has happened in the past. Somebody will promote an event for like a month, and then someone is going to come 1 week to that event and advertise the same event, different flyer, different venue at a cheaper price. Are you kidding me? Who does that benefit in the long run? I want to talk about it's called the crab theory. I don't know if you're familiar with it, Henry. When you put crabs in a basin and they're trying to climb up, they climb when one is about to get off, the other one pulls the other one down, and then
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, come on, people of God. We all came to Canada to change our lives. How different is that? Your struggle, your hard work, your passion we might have different perspectives about it, but you need to go forward. You need to progress. If I can add just a little bit on if I can use my little light to shine your light, and vice versa, we are going to both shine. It's really that simple. It's not a matter of, don't get me wrong, competition is healthy, but at some point, we cannot keep doing survival for the fittest. How long can we keep surviving for the fittest? We are talking legacies here. We are talking changing the mindset. We have to change the mindset of I. We have to have the mindset of togetherness,
Right.
I'm very passionate because it aches my heart to know that as much as I know I can't go this weekend, there is 4 events and people are all like, okay, so who is where? People
ngendewa. Where? Which event are you going to this weekend?
I cannot. Again, I have a cold. I can't leave my house.
You have a cold. I
cannot.
You're not going anywhere. People are going
competition is healthy, Henry, but sometimes we have to ask ourselves, when is it necessary and when is it not? And I think in this case, it's completely unnecessary because we are serving the same community. And
I think competition would be nice if we do have, I think it's going to be much easier if we have, if we can sit down. Ngaba community leaders netugamba naye omanyi gundi ono atera okutegeka kino ne kino ku gundi eno mwami Kaluhanga atera okutegeka boat cruise ku Independence Day weekend ekitegeera tuwagire mwami Kaluhanga ku Saturday.
And Mr. Asali, it's a conversation. If you have it with Innocent this year and you say, Innocent, are you holding your boat cruise? Now Gamba, no, I am not. Okay, then you can. It's a conversation, Mr. Sally. If we met, if the leaders in the community met once a year to set this calendar out, and everybody knows, just out of respect, even if it's a projected month, at least there is order. You know what I mean? And Mr. Sally, I want to bring out the point of sponsorship. We see, when we talk about PR and branding, we see, we can talk about your poster. You're supported by Manulife, you're supported by TD Insurance and the University of Toronto. Having their logos on your work really matters because positioning is important, but as well as support.
Right.
Do you want to tell me that the whole Ugandan Canadian community, there are no businesses that can sponsor these events? And I mean, when I say sponsorship, people just think money. There are so many ways. Yeah, that goes to all of us. What is the point of having all companies from Uganda? They're all in Uganda, but we are supporting the Ugandan Canadian community. And we have businesses that we cannot approach for sponsorship. It is an advert. It is you partnering. You understand?
Right.
Yeah? Why would I do, at least reach out? What I mean, reach out to a Ugandan business here. I am doing this event. Can we have you pay that 200 and your logo will appear on our work? Do you understand, Mr. San? It is visibility for all of us. Banang.
So how do we start these conversations? Is this good enough? Are we starting this conversation or we're gonna talk about amaji or no
You
to turn the
know, I mean,
conversation?
for us, we have done our part. We have instigated the conversation. I love that there is a post. I think you can talk about this in detail. I saw that has the Ugandan, Canadian, is it that has the different community? You're calling upon different community leaders to sit in a conversation. Let us sit. We know, like, for example, now there is UMAC for the Muslim Association or the Uganda
Yes.
Muslim Association of
That's
Canada.
another, yeah, that's another question.
Yes.
Tulina Buganda ku ntikko bbiri. Tulina kati community z'abasiraamu za mirundi ebiri. Uh, I don't know other organizations that have.
Mr. Sally, we can have very many, but let us sit on the table as community
Exactly.
leaders.
Why can't we sit on the same table? Because poste jengendo okulaga.
Yes.
We tried to call a few people. I think Gundi yali organizing. Omukungu wa Kabaka Estela Muyinda yabadde yakiteekamu amaanyi ago. Why don't we meet as community leaders
Simple. It's a
from different organizations, and we talk about some of the services we have, how we can best serve our community, so that people can not know. Bw'oba oyagala okupromotinga olina talent wednewe tigenda Mugisha Productions, oyagala kuyimba oyagala kukola kigenda Mugisha Productions ajja kuleadinga wajja oyagala ogenda. Ate events zatera okubeera nazo ziri bweziti ne bweziti ne bweziti, nkitegeera. Oyagala lawyer gundi atera okukola ku byamateeka ebyo, ogenda ewa gundi ne gundi beba lawyer mu community bino bye bakola. Are you thinking about education? What are you thinking? Are you thinking about mental health, immigration? Who do you speak to in the community? Those are the conversations you're going to have in that.
And I think, Mr. Sali, just to add on what you're saying, we have to understand that I want us to understand that we're doing this to impact the generations to come, and we need to heal. So this conversation for me instigates a start of the journey of healing as a community. Because first of all, the mistrust. Now we are all asking, who is Big Seal? We are all asking, okay, the Abeda wa. Okay, or in a company registered in Canada, Naye or Guani. We are all saying, Mr. Mayanja, okay, we know you come once a year, but who are you? You get
it? We know you live in the US. We know you're a very active media personality. Why?
Exactly.
Why doesn't you organize a convention in Boston, for example? Why they say Canada?
You know, something like, even if he was the bearer of the vision. Okay, you have a team here. Nze our community. Team here Uganda. Ya katugambe ya Uganda Business Convention. What are you doing to take this in your own hands and do something with the community here? It's not just a matter of it happening one time. Kati wetumana convention, then what happens next?
Exactly. And that's another thing. Someone, if they have the idea, nga tewali muntu mu Toronto agina, right? If they want to organize that event, I think they are free to do that. Canada is a capitalist country, right? But don't come to Canada once a year. At least come to Canada to a couple of events. Tukutege mwami Mayanja naye yabaddeko ku barbecue ya Buganda ku ntikko. Hiyo zinatubuuzaako. Kitegeera, make connections with the community so that the community can
I tell you something in the same regard? I like to use examples because it's for me, I like to have proof without sagalaga gambo nyo. Show me, then we shall have no problem. I featured Drake Ali in my Good Friday show, Easter.
Yeah.
Before I will tell, and I'll give him credibility, before he took this gig, he called me personally.
Right.
Because we had a conversation in regards to Miss Uganda Canada initiative. Make sense?
Right.
He called me personally and said, Gloria, I have been given a gig to come and participate at this, and it is by so and so. Do you see that? It wasn't my place to stop him because it is his gig. Does that make sense? But it was courtesy. And I said, yes, please take the gig, because like you can see, there is no fighting anyone here. It is complete civil. Things are for talking about, you know. It's sitting on a table and having a conversation. And here he is. He's going to perform. It's a gig. You
Yeah.
get it?
There's this young man, you're going to see him in one of his posters. Yatandika okukola olugendo. His name is Chirimutu. Chirimutu spoke to me. So I invited Chirimutu to host this guy here. Uh, uh, I invited Chirimutu to host the special editions for the UNA elections. And he was excited about the
Opportunity.
hosting and the opportunity, and he was like, you know what, after doing the special edition nangamba neyomanyi kitiro nali nayagadde okikola naye kati nga bwondaze ekintu bwe bakikola nange kankola olugendo nekiteera nemukola olugendo kale tewali tabu kikyoyagala nambuuzabuuzaawo biki okitegeera nangamba naye kati gwe ngeri gyokola ku Sande saawa kuva saa 5 mpaka saa 7 kati nja kukola ku 8 atandika show ye bagiyita lugendo. This Saturday I think this Sunday he has Shiba, Nalongo Shiba. He will be hosting Nalongo Shiba, and he told me ati omanyize ngenda tandikanga saa 8 nemekuyingira mu ssaawa zo kubanga that's what I want ate bwe budde bwe nnina obwo ku Sunday we are here to inspire people
absolutely
to develop, to grow into their talents. We are not about fighting each other. I think it's very important for us to identify those talents and try to develop them without having to fight
exactly
each other.
And Mr. Sally, to add on to the same point you're making, I was, when people were asking me, even all the community leadership has given me a call to ask, Gloria, Miss Uganda, what's up? Miss Uganda, the franchise in the UK, has called me, Gloria, what's happening? And I'm like, guys, let us
exactly. Ganange bwe nakubidde ne nkubuuza nakulabu advertising Miss Uganda kati ate sikulaba advertising. What's going on?
I can tell you the truth. When I was just in hindsight and I said, had Big Seal decided, now I'm just throwing Magezi because we need to heal. We cannot keep punching each other and we just think we're going to heal. Had Big Seal decided, I would love to have a conversation with the Miss Uganda Canada initiative. Yeah, let us sit on the table. What do you bring? Because we are serving with a what? The Uganda Canadian community. Hear me out here.
Right.
Wouldn't we have a much better? We wouldn't be having this conversation now. You get it? But the choosing to fight, the choosing to show who has the bigger balls. I'm sorry, that's not my portion. I rebuke, I bind, and I refuse. Make sense?
Gloria is rebuking, she is binding, and she's refusing.
We have to choose to heal.
Uganda aliye yatuwuliriza tukubire kasimu otubuuzeeyo ekibuuzo ki kyolina ekikutawaanya invent ki gyogenda okukola gyogenda okugendako weekend eno tukubire ku simu 416-518-2714 tukubire ku simu otubuuze. Gloria yagamba obuuza kibuuzo kyabigambye byonna abadda bye weebuuze wedda munkubira amapesimu mumbuuza mwana Sali ogenda kweriwa Henry ogenda kweriwa sina cold yonna so sigenda kwekwaza COVID ndi confused. I don't know where to go yet. I love Eddie away but I also I think appreciate all the other events that are happening. I think Vote Cruise abagala ogigendako namwe mugigendeko.
What do you call Saturday 2 p.m. to 7? Then there is another one on the next day. 7.
There's two. Why do we have two boat cruises in one weekend?
Well, again, why need to sit down? Like there is no corners around this, Mr. Sal.
Who is organizing which one? Who is organizing which one?
Well, there's so many posters going through. I raise my hands. I rest my case.
So 2 boat cruises in one. So that makes it 5 events. So 2 boat cruises in one weekend. We have Miss Uganda. We have Eddie away.
Yeah.
We have
the business convention, which is happening Saturday and Sunday.
Exactly. Convention Saturday and Sunday. Naturally, why is the convention during the October Thanksgiving weekend when it's supposed to be in the summer?
Well, because of the pandemic, I think the pandemic really moved a lot of events. So that was, and we didn't know when the world was going to open up. Right now, every place you cannot enter any hotel or you can't rent any event space unless people show that they are double vaxxed or they show a negative test of COVID.
So couldn't you wait for next year? Because there's so many events that we are postponed to next year that we did online, right?
Yeah.
because our window of doing that event has passed on. We're not going to inconvenience other people who have events during the same time period. Kyekiikyo oyogeddeko ekyagundi events timetable. Events
Calendar.
timetable. I think the events calendar. Events calendar. It's very important, and we need consistency as well.
Yes.
If you're organizing a convention during the summer, it should be during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Not at your own convenience lwakubanga mwasabye abantu sente Uganda kati mufiirawo okola accountability nti we have to host it now. We don't care who we are going to inconvenience, right?
Well,
And I think it becomes very very difficult for us to have these conversations if we cannot reach out to the proprietors of those organizations. The notion that someone who resides in a different state, or and when I say state, I mean country, or, that they are the ones who have to organize an event in our community because they know, hey, like, are we naive, or like, what's going on? Why can't we be the ones organizing these events for
be
us?
nice. Be nice. I think
I am nice.
I am choosing to have hope.
I am nice. I love, by the way, I love Mr. Mayanja. I don't know Big Seal, but I love Mr. Mayanja. Muganda wange todira kyekimu mwagala nnyo. I like him, but I think we need to have this conversation. I haven't called him, so I'll make a disclaimer. I haven't called him. Hopefully, I'll call him after this. And hopefully he will. Hopefully, he will have the courage to pick up my call and respond.
I think he's honestly, I have had this conversation with him. I won't lie to you, because as you've heard me, there's no time to waste, Sally. I would not waste my time to come and talk to you if I didn't mean every word I've said, if I didn't have proof of every word I've said, in a sense of I am looking forward to a solution to this as a Ugandan Canadian living in the Ugandan Canadian community. Don't get me wrong, we all are flawed as individuals, but we can choose to put that aside and see how to work together as a community. It is this, for me, this conversation, what am I getting out of here? I'm glad that I wasn't the only one thinking, so how, where?
So you're thinking about it but not talking about it.
Because I mean, it has been happening we've been at it for so long. So I'm sorry, Nanya, I will give you an honest. I had a chance I was going to launch my album on the 1st of December 2019. But I was told there was an NGO Pamoja initiative. They had their 10th anniversary on that same day. And I said, oh, I actually won't cover. I will change my date. I put my date in February,
right,
2020. So actually I did my album launch release in February 2020, and they locked us down after 2 weeks. Why did I change my date? I didn't want to have people go to Pamoja, and then Pamoja has been supportive of my work as well as an artist. So I didn't want to have that Atugendewa Gloria, but Atugendewa Pamoja 1 hour. No, like
baga nyokuwa amasimu ne Catherine Yaloza community of Elitu Talks. Do you agree with her?
It's not. That was my thought in the past, but again, right. I am a part of the community, so that makes me also toxic. Now the question is, what am I doing about it to change the toxicity of my community? Because I'm a part of it. That is why you and I are having this conversation. How many times have you had this conversation outside?
No, nowhere.
So we are not saying, oh, Gloria is no. We are saying, as community members, I run my company. I don't want to do an event on the same day while you're doing your thing. I don't want to have an interview at the same time you're doing your interview. It does not make sense. Yet we say we are serving the same community. Yeah.
The masks have fallen off. The community too toxic. We
have to get it out of ourselves. That's the meeting that you've advertised for the community. If you know you're a community leader, if you know you have a community organization, there it is on the you're about to see it. It's the first one, I believe.
Yeah.
You can pause that for me for a minute, Sally. That would be great. Yes, the community virtual service. We're going to be talking about uniting and building a better community. I see so many of these. I see Pamoja, I see Dominion Church, Who else? Who else? The person lead. That's why I'm calling upon these teams and their leaders who are here. For example, Musawa Jeff. I hope you can hear me because I know you are part of the Uganda Business Expo. Come on in, Mr. John Nalima. Come on in. Come and attend this. Where is Pitmoff? Where is Zinc? Zinc. I'm calling out all the Ugandans who host events because that's who we are. We want to see Zinc come and attend this meeting. We want to see New Level Entertainment come through. Let us sit down and have a mature conversation where we are not fighting each other, but rather finding ways of healing one another and working together. I want to be proud to support your event. I want to be proud to share it on my social media, not because they're competing with you. I want to do that because I'm a very proud Ugandan, and I know that you're not doing this to benefit you alone. What you're doing is benefiting the Ugandan Canadian community, not just in Toronto, but also in other provinces. And guess what? We are able to do that. So why not?
We can because we can. Banaye encha tulinayo show ku Sunday, tulinayo show Billy shesoka ya mujimanyi State of the Nation nayo kawungezikayo tulina ye meeting yembaga mujje meeting yembaga of course encha waliyo Independence mujimanyi event ya community services expo eriyo mu November, I think the first week of November, eriyo ku Sunday, neyo nayo eriyo ku Sunday yo. Enelyo kawungezika lero wokyaliyo ng'obuzaabuza banaye baganda baffe bano bagenda kufumbirwa. Benjamin ne Geraldine mujje mutuwagire mujje twewagire mutwetede ku ssente tugende tukole embaga. Benjamin mumumanyi, Geraldine mumumanyi, tugenda kubeera wa senga mumumanyi, senga wa community. Agenda yafumbye ekimere kya kabinyera n'atera okumaliriza gundi eno program olugimala bwenti nziruke ngende ndi ku kimere kya senga. Ate ani omulala asembayo Independence mugimanyi 59th Independence. Ye alumni bwete bwe bagambye nti bwejja okubeera naye nga mu studio nga bw'owulidde tulinamu omukyala gwe bayita Gloria Nankunda Gift. Yababuulidde ebimuli ku mutima kyova olaba eno bagiyita heart to heart. Kano kapya kagenda kubeera nga Friday. In the future muyinza obutalaba nze kirabika nja kuleeta omuntu omulala ajja okuntuulira mu studio abeere nga facilitating conversation naye mbadde njagala ngitandike. Bw'oba olina ekintu kyonna ekikuluma mu community eya Toronto, bagamba nti ensowera ekwagala yekugwa kubbwa.
And Henry, I want to also bring in, we want support from our embassy in Ottawa, from our High Commission. You understand? It's not about, like, we have to include these people. We want change, but we can't, we need the leaders as well on the top. So I'm calling upon the Ugandan embassy in Ottawa, right? Our High Commission.
Consulate,
our consulate in Ottawa. Yeah. Yes, you also know, like, these events. We are here now. Why can't we have a workshop? We are here talking about dual citizenship, the things that are happening in Uganda. Our consulate in Ottawa, where are you? Why can't we have a sit down? Come and have a sit down with the community.
Am I asking the wrong question? Are they interested?
What is their purpose then?
I hope they are interested. I hope you are listening to us. Yes,
it's very important.
Tulemenga kulinda myaka 5 kuggwako tugambe tugenda bagoba mu bukulembeze. Kubanga ekyo kye tugenda okuddako okukola. Tugenda bagoba mu bukulembeze bate baga kutukulembera bulungi.
We got this. They will. That's why I'm mentioning it here, so that it's, like I said, it's a collective thought for the community.
It is a collective thought.
I know that their involvement in what we do will, it's a support. I'll give an example. I know there is a TV station that is owned by Ugandan here. I made a comment and I said, we only see you when there are big events, but where are you in the Ugandan community? You get my point? That's what I mean. When the dignitaries are here, that's when we want to take pictures. That's when we want to be seen with them. Our community. When I talk about Miss Uganda Canada initiative, I did it because I'll tell you, as a young girl, I wish I had been, I wish I had known some things. It took me long to join the entertainment industry as a performer because I didn't really have confidence. People say, why did you start late? I didn't really have the confidence. So I want to change that for the girls in the community. When I see these youths in church, I'm inspired because of what they could become, but the ground has to be leveled. It has to be done in a certain way. It's not a matter of, here, have a song, go sing. No, it's the nurturing we need to do. So for me, I'm calling upon the community. I know, and I'm saying, I want to work with every single one of us, because at the end of the day, when I succeed, we all succeed, and vice versa. That's why I always say, together we soar. I mean that, and it's not just words. Sally, I would not be here talking to you if I don't believe in what you are, if I don't believe in the outcome of this conversation. I'm here because I have faith that after this conversation, as Diana is saying, this is an eye-opening conversation. Thank you both for asking these tough questions. I want us, the community, to finding our solutions, yet the solutions are for the things that we are suffering within. That's the question you're asking. Why are we allowing someone from outside coming into our community to tell us how, and then they leave, and then they come back again, and then we do the same thing.
After 1 year, I know. After 1 year, they leave and then they come back a year later.
Can we wake up? Like, is that too hard to ask? Parents, I know I want to work with you. Parents, I'm looking at you in particular because my work involves the youth. My work involves nurturing talents. My work involves, showing people where to go, especially in the industry I'm in. So when I tell you, Sally, I'm like, hey, change something here on your poster. It will look good. I'm not doing it because I know I'm showing off. I'm doing it because I know that once you do this, your poster is going to look better, because that is my work. That's what
exactly.
I do.
You are an expert. When you're next, whenever like omuntu waberanga alina kyakusingako okukkiriza nti ekyo gundi ngenda kubuuza gundi ekyo yakinsinga. We don't know everything. We know what we know, and I think so long as we are able to accept that and embrace the knowledge, the expertise we have in the communities, I think that's why we have that expo that is coming out, because we know that there are certain people who are better in other things.
Absolutely.
But we are only stronger together when we meet and have these conversations and identify the different talents that people have within our communities. We shall grow. When you look at other communities, the African communities, for example, like the Ethiopian communities or the Ethiopia-Eritrean communities, the Somali community, the Nigerian community, even the Tanzanian community, these guys are growing at a very high rate.
The Ghanaian community, I have the pleasure
of working with them. They're growing at a very high rate.
Man, I'm jealous.
The funny thing is, some of abantu bano abantu basinga okubeera abangi. When you look at the statistics, for example, there are so many Ugandans in this community. So many Ugandans. When you go back, I think abantu abatusinga obungi, Bannakenya batusinga obungi, Abaethiopia batusinga obungi, n'Abaeritrea, as well as the Somalis.
And you're mentioning East Africa only here.
I'm only mentioning East Africa, exactly. I'm only mentioning East Africa because they are closer to us, right? We have a lot of things in common, right? But there are other they are more developed in these communities than we are. Like when you look at the organizations z'Abanyarwanda, zifuna funding okuva mu Canadian government nga zirimu $500,000. They even give out funding to smaller organizations.
Yes.
Right? But we can do that as well.
We are very much capable, Mr. Sally. I was telling one of the event organizers, and I said, my hope is that whatever they do with their organization, they're able to get funding that they don't have to charge Ugandans to attend their event. Do you know how amazing that would be? Because the government of Canada, and I am right, there is grants, there is support. You just have to know where to look.
Exactly.
Those are conversations we have to have, whether we like it or not, if we're going to move forward. Otherwise, you'll keep charging $40 for a long time, man. And it will still stay. You're not going to go anywhere. Don't get me wrong. There are ways of doing things, is my point. We just have to agree that we need civility. We need to get on the table and have conversations,
I think we do need to have these conversations. We are going to wrap up. Kumanga Ninayo meeting coming up in about a couple of minutes, and I'm excited about that, Chimere. As we wrap up, so kompulire chichi kyetulina okukola.
Well, for me, I think the meeting that we have on November 6th, as I've seen as advertised, is a starter. And I call upon, I hope that you can share this with each and every event organizer within our community. And we show up. I don't know if it is virtual. I'm yet to see the tech.
It is a virtual. It is a virtual conversation. Yeah,
sit in front of your laptop like we have done.
Exactly.
Let us start there, and then we shall.
How easy is that? How easy is that? Like, sit in front of your computer. Let us have this conversation.
Literally,
conversation, heart to heart.
Oh, and we are talking about things that are building us. You know what I mean? It's NOC show, if that makes sense.
No, this is not
an actual conversation.
We're actually going to be on Zoom. We shall even have breakout rooms to Gambet Kale Agati Glory in Agisha. I'm going to be updating that.
Okay. We'll wait for how to go about it. The technicalities of it.
Yeah, but like each company or each organization here, a breakout room. Just Ganda she wants to do Miss Uganda Canada. Agenda Mugisha Productions ababuze. Miss Uganda Canada initiative immediate. How do I participate in that event?
And I just want to make this clear, Mr. Sali. Gisha Productions is a PR, is a public relations.
Oh, public relations. There you go.
For Miss
Uganda Canada initiative.
Makes sense? Yeah. Miss Uganda Canada initiative is a non-for-profit organization existing solely on its own to serve the community. Gisha is a hired partner in this, if that makes sense, to make it easy for everybody to understand. So I don't want you to mix ideas.
No, I'm not mixing ideas.
No, for everyone who is watching, I want them to understand. Because everyone needs a guide. A wedding needs a wedding planner, for example. That is who Gisha is for Miss Uganda Canada initiative. And anyway, for anyone who has any questions regarding everything I've said or anything in the community, because now everyone will ask, and I love to share information, why not? My email is gishaproductionsinc@gmail.com. Very simple. Gisha Productions Inc., as you can see on my hat. Yes. @gmail.com. Please feel free to reach out, have a conversation, or look for us on social media. Absolutely. I will be honored to have a conversation with you. To the community leaders in Ottawa, Edmonton, wherever you are, Victoria, BC, I would love to get in touch with you. If you can get in touch with me, I really would love to hear from you. All of the community leaders, I want to see what we can do together to serve our Ugandan Canadian communities, not just in Toronto, wherever you are based. I believe that you and I can create something together. So my email, once again, gishaproductionsinc@gmail.com. I would love to work with you, and I cannot wait to serve you.
Gift. Aina ebirabo bye ate naye nankunda bamwagala nnyo yangambe siri ya Kifalansa linya Ganda livaamu ankole. Maliriza.
Banage Mbebas, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. I know that this is not an easy conversation, but hey, someone has to throw the first stone. So here we are. Thank you so much to the African Alumni. Thank you to TD Insurance. Thank you to the University of Toronto. Thank you so much to Manulife for supporting this initiative. To the African Alumni, I thank you so much for having me on your platform. Thank you for engaging in something I'm passionate about, serving my community. How? I am willing to work with the community to help me serve the community, because no man is an island. I cannot do it alone. And I believe that together we all soar, no matter how individually talented we are. Together, we are a no man's match. And I can't wait to do that with all of you. I'm a very proud Ugandan Canadian, as you can see, very proud Ugandan Canadian. And everyone has to know that wherever I go. So I'm very honored. Thanks for watching, for listening. And until next time, I can't wait.
Again, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure hosting you. To all the Ugandans out there, thank you so much for joining this conversation. Go into my WhatsApp. Let us continue this conversation. Tubagala nyo ka email ako mukajukire gishaproductionsinc@gmail.com. I'll see you wedding meeting. Muje tusangagane. Cheers, guys.
This is love, yeah, love. Feeling like I'm sick, yeah. Babe, I wanna give you some time.
My sweet Timotama, yeah. Baby, come closer, yeah.
Oh, yeah, single sick, yeah. Babe, I wanna give you some time.
My sweet Timotama, yeah. Baby, come closer, yeah.
Are you a lover? Are you a lover? You give, Ribaza ni buri. Give me love, give me love, give me love. Give me more and more, give me more and more. Yeah, follow you, follow you, follow you. I will be your protector.
I'll be always by your side. Kufa John Collins, on the roadside till you come. Give me love, give me love. Give me more and more, give me more and more. Nanya just over love.
This is love, love. Feel like I'm losing you.
You should know I forever wanna be with you.
Oh, yeah, single sick. Babe, I wanna give you some time.
My sweet Timotama, yeah. Baby, come closer, yeah.
Oh, yeah, single sick. Babe, I wanna give you some time.
My sweet Timotama, yeah. Baby, come closer, yeah.
I swear to God, I never found this kind of love. You're my baby, you're my telephone. Shaka Panado, yeah. Kubagu no mukwano munji, baby. Give me love, give me love. Give me more and more, give me more and more. Follow you, follow you. I will be your protector.
Ngora, ikanje vyose nejaa. Nimekuchagua wewe.
This is love, yeah. Feel like I'm losing you.
You should know I forever wanna be with you.
Oh, yeah, single sick. Oh no, yeah. Babe, I wanna give you some time.
My sweet Timotama, yeah. Baby, come closer, yeah.
Oh, yeah, single sick. Oh, yeah. Babe, I wanna give you some time.
My sweet Timotama, yeah. Baby, come closer, yeah.
Oh, yeah, single sick. No. Babe, I wanna give you some time, baby. Oh, yeah.
Great. Before we go, I had forgotten something that I think is very important,
Yes.
that you need to talk about shortly. And before we wrap up, and I had told people, I'm wrapping up.
I'm gonna send you a voucher, Henry. I'm gonna send the African alumni a voucher for my.
I know, right? You should send a voucher. You should send a voucher. But I wanted to talk about vaccination
Yes.
very shortly, very short. What do people need to know regarding vaccination, and why is it important for people to get vaccinated?
Well, honestly, I think speaking about it, I'll speak about it as with a person on a personal perspective, because everyone has their reasons as to why they don't want to take it. But I personally had to took the initiative. I'm double vaxxed because, first of all, unfortunately or fortunately, that is the way of life now. If you need to have access to anything, I am a court clerk, and it has just been ordered that all federal government employees have to actually get vaccinated. You have to put your information in the system. You can choose to fight that, but again, I think for me, it is people need to know that this is for their own good. And they need to do it, because if you gotta move on, if you want to travel, you can't get on any plane unless you're double vaxxed. So you can have their fights, but I think that is a personal choice. For me, I encourage, you can't enter a room now. We can't, when we go for auditions, I'll give you an example. In my industry, you cannot go on any set unless you have been vaccinated, or unless you show your receipt that you've actually been double vaxxed or you're negative. So everyone has their own reasons as to why they don't want. I just need to know that they have to decide on how life is going to be thereafter.
For the events that are happening this weekend, what should people know and what should the organizers do to ensure that everyone is safe?
Organizers, well, you have to pay for this information, Mr. Sally. Anyhow, I would advise for the events that we are doing now, because now I'm starting to do live events and live performances at different venues, because it's now the summer. So, it's now the fall. So my performances are becoming intimate instead of the festivals that we did during the summer. First of all, they need to inquire from the venue, the event, the venues they are, what is the word? They are renting for these events. They need to inquire from the venue what their practices are. Some, for example, some theaters, you can be not vaccinated, but you have to test for COVID. So you have to bring a result, a negative CPA, what is it called? PCR test? Yes. 24 hours to the event, when you come to the event. Or they have to have a rapid test personnel at the entrance of the venue. So the event organizers need to ask those questions first, because some people do not, and then they have to ask how many number of people are allowed in a particular venue, because social distancing has to exist. So you don't want to say everyone come and then people come but they can't get in, because the rules of that venue say that you can't have more than 25 people. You're muted, Henry. You're muted.
I hope all the organizers have had that very intelligent advice. I know you're going to send us a voucher. Please send it. We shall look into that and see what we are going to do. But again, I want to thank you for.
And also, sorry, Henry, all the people have to have the receipts for, if you're double vaxxed, you have to show your receipt of your the one you get when they give you the second dose. So for those who are attending events this weekend, please move with them. Don't fight. Just be easy. If they tell you receipt, please show. It doesn't, whatever your views are, unfortunately, those are the rules, and it won't be an exception because you're who and your who is who. No one cares. You will not enter any place unless you have your double vax receipt. So anyone attending the event, just pull it out and have it on your phone, because they're going to ask you often. Every time you get out, you have to show that you actually have been double vaxxed. So
and of course, you need your ID
for the
as
event organizers as well.
And of course, you need the ID as well.
Oh, and
thank you so much again. Yeah, thank you so much again. If you really want to get in touch with Gloria, that is her email. She's a candid person, as you have seen. She's also an artist. And on that note, have a good night.
Oyonje kusherechiwe kana kanje, oyonje kusherechiwe kana kanje, kunde banafiriwe kana kanje, oryo munyasingentiwe kana kanje, oyonjiwe kana kanje, oyonjiwe kana kanje, oyonjiwe kana kanje, oyonjiwe kana kanje. Kundu banafiriwe kana kanje, oyambu choru sharariwe kana kanje, ojendo anyakwentiwe kana kanje, oryo munyasingentiwe kana kanje, oyonjiwe kana kanje, oyonjiwe kana kanje, oyonjiwe kana kanje, oyonjiwe kana jeranguma Yosuro muhigo guri mukanga Nibenda kukwiti wekana kanje Oyonche, oyonchi wekana kanje Oyonche, oyonchi wekana kanje Oyonche, oyonchi wekana kanje Oyonche, oyonchi wekana kanje Oyonche, oyonche wekana